Well, welcome back, Remley. Here we go. Another episode, another edition, and another reaction from today's game with the Colts. So, some things I took away from today's game. Um, some things I was pleased with, some things I was not pleased with. Overall, well, what matters is at the end of the day, we got the win. Amazing touchdown catch by Tutu Atwell and an amazing throw by Matthew Stafford. Amazing day by Stafford, an amazing day by Puka Nacua and by Kyron Williams. Amazing day by Cam Curl and the two picks that he had, and a pretty solid day by that Rams defense. It felt like we left a lot of points on the board. Another week of doing that. Another week that the offense stalls. Now, I don't. I'm not. I'm not here trying to be negative about the game. I'm not. I'm just trying to give you guys my honest opinion about what I saw in today's game. And we've had a lot of stalled drives, starting with the second half of last week's game, and then of course we had some in that Tennessee game, and we had some in that Houston game. And I know it's going to happen from time to time, right? But there were one too many stall drives, uh, penalties, just either if it was either penalties, overthrown balls. Uh, One thing I did kind of get aggravated about. Excuse me. It really aggravated me. And it was the lack of use of Devontae Adams. Quite a few times he was wide open, and quite a few times Stafford did not look his direction. Is it something or is it nothing? I look at it through my meaning, like, is there an issue between the two? I don't think there's any issue between the two. What I do think is Stafford is really comfortable with Puka Nacua. And my thing is, well, if you're not going to utilize Devontae Adams, then why did we bring him in? He had what, four catches today and a touchdown. I'm happy that he got the touchdown. It's his third touchdown as a Ram, but he's not getting any. He's rarely getting any targets, right? And when he is getting targeted, Stafford is overthrowing him. So yeah, there is some frustration on my part, and again, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just all in my head. But I'm watching these games, and I'm looking at he's wide open, and he's not. Stafford's not even looking in his direction. Um, but outside of that, I mean, offensively we have to do a better job of sustaining drives. We have to do a better job of putting points on the board when we and we have to make these games count. As I said 2 weeks ago against in the game right after we beat Tennessee, we can't keep settling for field goals. There's going to be moments where we're going to settle for field goals, 100%. But when we're in the red zone, when we're inside the 10, when we're inside the 5, we can't keep stalling like that. We have to sustain drives, and we have to keep our defense off the field and let them get some rest. I understand it's a young defense, but they still got to rest. They still get tired, especially if they got to chase around mobile quarterbacks or running backs like Saquon and today Fred Taylor, and next week we got McCaffrey that we're going to be seeing. After the week after that, it's not going to get any easier because we got Derrick Henry that we got to go look at. So we got to do a better job of keeping our defense off the field. and we got to do a better job of keeping the opposing offense off the field. The more we do that, I think, I think we'll be great. Now, the positive, the positive about some of these things. Well, let me start with the negative about these things. Some of the negatives about these things is it could potentially set us up for failure, right? Because we're not taking advantage when we should be taking advantage of particular situations. However, it could easily help us out in the playoffs because we were going through the trenches and we've been through some of these battles, so we know what it's like to get ourselves out of these battles and out of these situations. Do we want to be in these situations? Absolutely not. Do we want to be like in the situation we were in last week? I don't think any Rams fan wants that. But at the end of the day, what matters is we walked away with the win. There's a three-way tie for first in our division. Coming up next is the 49ers at home Thursday night. For us, it's a rivalry game. For us, it's a rivalry game. Anybody that has been a Rams fan as long as I have, we already know these are the true rivals. These are the true LA Ram rivals, the San Francisco 49ers. We got to be able to pop these guys. We got to pop these guys, and we got to start sending messages to a lot of these teams. Again, we got San Francisco coming up Thursday. The week after that, we got Baltimore, and then after that, we got to fly to the UK to go play against Jacksonville. I think I think there's points that our defense played a little sloppy. I think at some points you look at the pass rush, and the pass rush a lot of times it wasn't there. Again, maybe it's just me. And again, I'm not one of these people that's nitpicking, but part of this, what I'm doing right now in front of you guys, is just giving you guys my reaction. That's just it. Am I worried about this football team moving forward? No, I'm not worried about this team. Do I have trust in them? Do I have faith in them? Yes. Do I think we can beat all these teams that we're lining up against? 100%. 100%. If we don't blow that game last week, we're sitting 4-0 right now. We're sitting 4-0 right now. Things happen, and I understand that it's football, but these are things that we need to correct. These are things we need to fix, and I think Sean will do it. Your special teams was a little bit better, obviously, right? We didn't. I mean, there was no block field goals. There was no block punts this week. Kyron Williams looked really good today. Outside of that botched handoff between Stafford and Kyron, he looked good running the football. Looked for the hole, was looking for the holes, waited for the block, was patient, ran downhill, and just the number of the stiff arms that he had, just he had an amazing day today. Stafford outside of just not Stafford outside of just not looking for Devontae enough, looked really good out there too, especially let me reiterate this, especially in the fourth quarter. I think the Rams, both offensively and defensively, looked really good in the fourth quarter. They looked great in the fourth quarter. And I would say also this: we got bailed out a couple times. If Mitchell doesn't, if Mitchell doesn't double that ball heading into the end zone, we're losing by 4 points at that point. And then the holding penalty on him that when Fred Taylor took it to the house. it could have went south quick for us. We got bailed out a few times. Did they get bailed? Did they get bailed out a few times? Absolutely. I'm not saying that that the Colts didn't get bailed out because they got bailed out. But we're gonna again. I'm gonna say this week. I'm gonna say this again. We need to play 4 quarters. We need to play 4 quarters against the Niners Thursday night. We need to play 4 quarters, all 4 quarters, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. They don't like us, we don't like them, and we know what it is. But we need to set the example. We need to set the tone, and we need to send a message. Overall, I'm happy for the win. And before I go, I never met this person. I know of the person. Rest in paradise. Rest in paradise to one of the hugest Rams fans, Sal Martinez. Rest in paradise. Ram in peace. You'll be missed. And prayers and condolences go out to him and his family. Until next week, horns up, my Ramley. Let's go Rams.